All right, now we're going to head to the endless ocean. So we're going to go from the coast of the United States out into the middle of the ocean. I always like it when it goes. So this is moving into a sea base at the edge of a seamount. We have applied what we've done with aquarium technology for decades and decades at the SeaWorld parks, and really tried to take this as far as we possibly could with the next generation of aquarium work. I know when you guys walk up, you're going to go, wow, that's a big aquarium. This is for scalloped hammerhead, juvenile scalloped hammerheads, juvenile blacktip sharks, and we'll have schooling fish in here as well. This is kind of the one where the babies grow up and then can move to the larger habitat itself. But we really want to give the guests just a quick taste of what our aquarium is like before we turn around the corner for the big view, which we're now going to go around and do. But this is the true view of the endless ocean. This is the Oculus view. This is the deepest and largest marine life aquarium in the world. This is 20 meters deep. This is a multi-level. One of the things we did in design for this habitat was you can't see the entire habitat from any one view. You've got to move different spaces to go see the different version. Sand tiger sharks, cow-nose rays, number of species of different types of open ocean fish. We have a number of other animals that are going in slowly as we introduce everybody into the habitat. I will tell you, this is one of the most amazing things to go diving in. I was diving twice yesterday to get it ready for the guests, which I sneak away and do whenever I can. We'll also have opportunities for gift shops in here, food and beverage on different levels. One of the things we really like people to do is just sit and relax and watch the animals and understand how we do this. This has some really unique expeditions as well. Expeditions are different programs that people can sign up for. One of them is Sea Trek. Sea Trek you would have seen in our traditional parks, which is the helmet that you put on and walk around up on the deck itself. We have a dive program in here, which is we're going to be developing itself. That's going to be very interesting with the sand tiger sharks and other species of sharks. And then eventually, because of the size and scale of the aquarium itself, we will have a true submersible. A 5-person submersible. We will be piloting it, so it'll be 4 guests. The guests don't get to pilot the submersible, but something that has never been seen in an aquarium before of this size in getting a chance to do this. The other thing that's really cool is seeing how a lot of these species handle depth because they much prefer deeper water. So sand tiger sharks, really, we're seeing some very exciting behavior. And as you've noticed walking in, there's interpretives and graphics everywhere. We want to give that opportunity of people being able to select the graphics they want to read about, but also having our education staff here as well, answering specific questions and doing those one-on-one conversations. I will say the acrylic looks really, really nice and clean. Because I was cleaning it yesterday morning. But this is, so the animals will self-select what levels they want to go on, so you never know what view you're going to get when what animal is going to come by with what you see. And then all of the theming is to replicate a sea base itself and to really create that I'm in a realm. I've been transported to a specific place in the world. What we will have here eventually, we still are finishing this habitat up, but this is representing sargassum. So we will have an entire coating of sargassum up on top with all of the small creatures that live in sargassum, different crustaceans, different species of small juvenile fish. So telling that story about that specific plant. And then you got to see the Oculus view. This next view is the endless vista. This gives you the true understanding of what the depth of this habitat is like. So you remember I said this is a 20-meter deep tank. This piece of acrylic is actually 22 meters because it's cantilevered 15% back. So when you stand at the base of it and stand under it, the water is up over the top of you. One of the things we wanted to do, because even though this is the largest marine life aquarium in the world, there's still species that you can't have in here comfortably. So directly across from this, on the other side of the tunnel, is a 20-meter tall projection screen. something that Mitchell has worked very tirelessly on to make that work. And you will be able to see projected animals, so you may be walking around the habitat and suddenly see a humpback whale go by. And that, so you truly have an endless view, hence the endless ocean.
So every pod has a different piece of our working, living sea base. It's part of our SEA story. SEA standing for Science, Exploration, and Adventure. This is a fictional group of characters from all different backgrounds, whether they're engineers or technicians, they are scientists or explorers, have all come together to do something wonderful for the aspirational nature of the future. So this is Communications Pod. We talk about how we communicate underwater, as well as how animals communicate with each other underwater. You'll see all kinds of different habitats that happen within here. We'll kind of go through slowly some of these different views. But the beginning of the sea base story is a cavern that has been completely devoid of life, and they managed to pull all of the water out of that and start the initial sea base, and each individual pod has been added to it over time. Someone was asking about the aging. We don't have a chance to go down today, but we will have an escalator all the way down to the bottom of that 20 meters where you can go into our seabed pod and just be completely surrounded by 2 atmospheres of pressure and all of the incredible, thousands of species of animals. We're going to go straight through this beautiful acrylic tunnel. On the left, you'll see the back of the endless Vista. That was the cavern room that we were in just a minute ago. And on the right, you can kind of see in the background part of that massive 20-meter video projection screen that's actually inside of the aquarium itself.
All right, what do you see all around you?
So as we look out, you'll see the Sea Trek part of our Sea Venture program. This is where you put on the scuba helmet, walk around underwater. Just past that is where the dive program and the full submersible will be, up on level 5, and you'll get to come all the way down through the water column. Is in every single realm of the park, Endless Ocean being part of it, there is kids play. And the reason for that is we believe in a very deep way that play is learning, and that it doesn't necessarily need to be an educational, intentional thing, that we just want kids of all ages to get out and play and to be open to the education that we can bring to them when the moment's right. Down here, you'll see several of our dining experiences. We call this Fathoms 11. We've got 2 different experiences that happen in here. One of them is more of a formal fine dining table service, and one of them is a bit more grab and go. As we walked in, you talked to Rob about the 50,000 swirling fish that will eventually be in that first aquarium. You can actually dine underneath that, looking up at that swirl as well. Base, we've got our robotics and engineering lab. That's where you're going to find culinary options, retail options. We have a PVC show similar to the Blue Man Group that are 2 maintenance workers that come out, start working on the pipes. Becomes a really fun interactive show for guests, as well as a 2-story, a 3-story full interactive playground within the Endless Ocean that looks out into the main aquarium. So all of the media throughout the park does go through time of day. You'll have all of this go through the full time of day with the Endless Ocean, even the soundscape where you hear birds or you hear insects that kind of blow out the 4 walls of the room have been programmed to go through time of day. So that will change the score. This is all original soundscape that has been scored by dozens of both film and theatrical composers, and all of it is intentional. It's a symphonic score that has a theme for every realm of the park that culminates here in the One Ocean, and then the One Ocean theme flowing back out into each area of the park. And that is scored day for night to make sure that we are creating night soundscapes that are also meant for our animals' comfort.